So, when did homelessness become a crime? And I've seen this in this past, I don't know, most recent days, months. It's been more prevalent where I see homeless people under attack. And they're not just under attack by just the general population, the people at large, but government officials, both liberal and conservative government officials. The like I'm close to the border of California, and a lot of people from California coming over to come boss people around in Nevada and Arizona, and they are fucking up. I hate to say it that way, but they're fucking up both states. California, everybody's running away from California right now because things are that bad there, and they're bringing their nonsense over to the better states. And so what I'm seeing is these liberal politicians that were once from California trying to hide homelessness. But they ask for money, they ask for donations, they ask for more tax dollars to deal with homelessness, but they will not. They refuse to help homeless people. Most recently, in the communities that I live in, there has been an influx of families being homeless. Not just individual or single people, but entire family units. And these governments refuse. Now, if you're LGBTQ or you're single, there's a place for you if you're homeless. But if you're a family unit, they're not going to provide anything for you. Good luck. They're not going to. There's no rent assistance or anything. Um, One of the places I live at, what we had was Google, Tesla, and a couple other companies moved in all of a sudden, and they promised everybody around the country, around the world, that they were going to have good jobs and they're going to show up. And when they did that, the rent went from like $400 to $500 a month to now almost $2,000 to $3,000 a month. In fact, a one bedroom studio is about $1,700 a month now. Um, and so, what the truth behind this is that these companies, one, they lied. A lot of people didn't get jobs when they moved up here, or the jobs that they were offered were no longer available, so they ended up becoming homeless. And or people came up here and the benefits and the wages were not commensurate with the all the promises that were advertised specifically by, where I will also include Amazon. You know, it's a little blurry. Amazon's another one of them because Amazon had built some warehouses. They're just like pumping everybody up, and then all these poor people, they're screwed. And a lot of these people moved up here with their families, you know. And even I'm gonna include the other places I live in other states as well. I've seen the same problem. So there's not a scarcity of homes. What there is a lot of greedy ass people. It's just like this whole oil thing with Iran. There was no oil shortage, but for some reason, every gas station in the U.S. went from, $3 a gallon, $4 a gallon to $7 a gallon, and there's still not any proof that there was a shortage in fuel. They just had an opportunity to rip people off. Well, that's what's going on with the housing situation. Um, in my security career, 30 something years ago, when I first started out, I was working in Boca Raton, Florida. I worked high end uh, security patrol, and there was one instance where I was called to a property because the homeless folks were urinating in the bushes and doing this other stuff, and I responded, and Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office showed up. The deputy that showed up, I had a good conversation with him about the complaint and what the client wanted me to do. They wanted me to have them arrested. And the deputy was plain and clear, said, you know what, I would never do something like that. I would not arrest them because I was homeless. And when I listened to him as a young man, it didn't hit home because I've never been in that situation. I had been in almost or near homeless situations, but I've always been able to fight my way out of those things since I started my life, my adult life very young, around 15 years of age, and I always had great people around me, and I was able to survive and be able to keep a roof over my head. But not everybody has that luck. Sometimes people not only have bad luck, but they have situations where they're unhireable. And so that deputy, I still remember him to this day. He's probably since retired, but I could say God bless him, and I thank him for being honest to me and sharing his personal journey and experience, because the things he said about homelessness and why he didn't think homelessness was a crime really hits home, especially in my older age and what I've observed. Today, I saw a young family begging for resources, food, money, whatever they can get in front of a Walmart. A family, entire family unit. Like I said, this county, it's a Democratic county, but they don't like families. They don't like family units. If you're LGBTQ or you're some other category, they'll find you a home. They'll find a place for you to stay. But if you're a family unit, they'll try to break you apart. They'll try to put you in jail, in the county jail. They'll do other things to you other than help you. And so I was talking to my wife and my 6 year old, and I was praying to Jesus Christ. I was praying to God, and I was praying to the Holy Ghost and saying, how do we help these people? And so something in me said, just take what you got, whatever you have. And so me and Isa, my little baby, we grabbed some apples, some Gatorades, and whatever pocket change I had, and I drove back over there. And as I'm driving there to park to walk over there and greet this family, this homeless family, people are screaming "wetback" and "go back to your country" and this, that, and the other. And I did not know, but until I got close enough to them, they are they're not Latino. I think they were like Eastern European, maybe Ukrainian. The family was, and for me, the race didn't matter, but it came to mind with reference to the demented, evil comments and screaming coming from passersby. And I was thinking, man, they don't even know who they're talking to or screaming at. Look at this family; they're not even who they think they are. Automatically, it's an immigration issue, right? They may not be lawfully present in the United States. Who knows what their status is? And I don't care. What I care about is those three little children. One was about 2 or 3 years old, the other one about 5 or 6, and the other one was about 8 or 9. I care about them, and I care about their parents caring about them, and I care about the family staying together and surviving. And I pray for them, and I told the man that God is great and that God will protect them. As I gave them the very little money I had available and some supplies. And as I was driving away, my 6 year old said that he said the same thing. He said that money is going to multiply. My son said this, my 6 year old. He said that money is going to multiply, and eventually a roof will be placed over their head, and they will get what they need so they're not homeless. And he talked about homelessness and the things people need to live. He talked about needing a sink to wash your hands, and needing a kitchen to prepare your food. And this is a 6 year old talking, and I love him so much. I can feel his spirit when he talks, and how much he cares. And I can tell you this is that any of us can fall into this situation. It's not foreign. It's not a thing of immigration. It's any of us. But what I do find is particularly gets under my skin is how liberals, specifically liberals, are so two-faced and full of it, because they hide these things. They want to hide homelessness. They want to hide homeless people. They want to make it a crime to be homeless. And then on the other turn of this, conservative politicians are nearly the same way. They don't want to fund homeless programs. They're both all these political, they're back and forth, and you see the tug of war. It's all for naught, because what I know in my heart is that that family is still out there as I'm talking to you on this camera, and they are still suffering. It's about 80 to 90 degrees. Uh, the reason I personally don't sit here, come and stay in my home, is because I don't know what their decisions in their life are. I don't know what their journey is. And I believe that God and them praying to God will help them establish their journey in life and where they're headed. And so, I can offer the shirt off my back, but I can't create solutions for them. So, where I started off with this about homelessness becoming a crime, specifically here in the U.S., it's shitty. And people are, oh, they don't want help. It's not that they don't want help. It's because every time they try to get help, you kick them. You continue to kick them while they're down. Every time they want to do better for themselves, you criticize them. It's every time they try to get a job, you find reasons not to hire them. It's every time that you see that they're suffering, you talk shit about them versus praying for them and helping them. So those are my thoughts about today in this incident. And if you see homeless people, pray for them, and if you can, give them something. Okay, it doesn't have to be something that will necessarily cure their problem, but it's the spirit of humanity and the spirit of the Holy Ghost that's so important. That spirit to help them get ahead, give them that winning, fighting chance. That people, that us as a community, can love them as we love our brother and sister, and help them and encourage them to overcome the obstacles in their life, so then they can have a better opportunity in the future, and that they can grow from their problems. I'm saying this because I do believe in God, and I believe that a lot of this stuff I can't I it's like this whole worshiping. Right now there's a lot of people wanting to worship like Elon Musk. I mean, the guy, can't worship that guy. You know, he's this vigilante, citizen vigilante thing is a reason why. That's an example. The guy is a big liar. He's a phony. Yeah, he gets away with doing a lot of things because the people he employs and he uses till they're not good anymore, he throws them away, are smart people. They're just not smart enough to figure it out that you don't want to work for somebody like that. The guy ruined the rent situation in specifically northern Nevada and some other parts of Nevada, promising people jobs and causing rent to go up, and then lying to people to where now people don't have work opportunities and can't afford rent. So um, don't worship those people. Worship your God, your spirit, your belief, your religion, whatever your religion is. It doesn't have to be anyone's, because you know what, God is there, and in if you really think about it, um, there are true faiths, and in your heart, if you know that you're believing and that you have that divinity inside of you and you understand it, then nobody can convince you otherwise. And I wouldn't even dare do it, because like I read the Bible, but I believe that God's influence is in anybody who's trying to um, better themselves and read doctrine and read the stories of the past, and how um, human beings have overcome such bad things in written history and before then. So my thoughts, please share yours. I'll talk to you guys soon. I thought it was worth sharing this because not only is this a security issue, but this is a human issue, and we need to come to some way of solving it. And obviously, we can't depend on these politicians to solve these problems for us. We as a community need to do so. Talk to you guys, and thank you for listening.